Imagine this. You're digging through your change, maybe grabbing some quarters for a vending machine, when bam, you realize you just spent a coin that could have made you a millionaire. Sounds crazy, right? Well, not if you've got a 2000p Maryland State quarter with the right details. Because believe it or not, one of these babies has hit a staggering $2.7 million at auction. What makes a plain old quarter worth more than a mansion? Stick with me, because we're about to break down exactly what to look for, how to spot the $1 million version, and even how to sell it if you've got one. Alright, before we get into the money talk, let's set the stage. The Maryland State Quarter was released in 2000 as part of the 50 State Quarters program. It features the Maryland State House, the oldest still in use state capitol in America, along with white oak branches. If you've got one of these quarters, check the front. If there's a tiny P mint mark, that means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Millions were made, so finding one isn't rare. But finding the right one? That's where the jackpot comes in. So, why would someone pay millions for a 25-cent piece? The answer lies in errors, condition, and rarity. The most valuable Maryland quarters have one or more of these special factors. This is the big one. A double die error happens when the coin is struck twice slightly off from the first strike. The result? Letters and numbers on the coin look blurry or doubled. George Washington's eye and hair. If you notice any of these details, don't spend that coin. It could be worth serious cash. Ever seen a quarter where part of the design is missing? That's an off-center strike. Some are worth a few $100, but the more extreme the misalignment, the higher the value. If it's 50% or more off-center, while still showing the full date, you could be looking at thousands. Let's talk about coin grading. The highest graded Maryland quarters, especially those with perfect, crisp details, can be, even without an error. Collectors look for coins with full luster, meaning it still shines like Nawa flawless quarter, graded MS-70, which is near impossible, could fetch big bucks just for its perfect condition. Now, let's talk real money. While a perfect 2000p Maryland quarter with a major error sold for $2.7 million, not every coin will hit that jackpot. But that doesn't mean your quarter is worthless. Check out these actual market values. Alright, so now that you know what to look for, here's how to check your quarters like a pro. Grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. You'll need one to spot doubling and tiny details. Look for doubling on the letters and date. Pay close attention to Liberty and Washington's face. Check for off-center strikes. If the design is pushed way to one side, it's worth checking. Examine the condition. The shinier and more perfect, the better. Use a coin grading guide or get it appraised. If you think you have something, get it checked by a professional. Where to sell if you hit the jackpot. Let's say you find one of these ultra-rare Maryland quarters. What next? Great for selling lower value finds. Heritage auctions or Stack's Bowers. Perfect for big-ticket rare coins. Good for quick sales, but they might offer lower prices. Coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. If you're serious about selling a valuable coin, get it professionally graded first. So, there you have it. That boring-looking quarter in your pocket? It could be worth more than your entire house. The key is knowing what to look for. Before you toss that change in a jar, check for errors, look at the condition, and do your research. You never know when you might stumble upon your own $2.7 million surprise. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin hunting tips, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin. We're diving into a mind-blowing story about a 2001 North Dakota state quarter that recently made headlines for being worth a jaw-dropping $2.80 million. Yes, you heard that right. $2.8 million for a single quarter. If you're thinking, there's no way a regular state quarter is worth that much. Well, buckle up, because I'm about to tell you exactly why this coin is so special and how you might have one hiding in your pocket change. And trust me, you don't want to miss this because by the end of this video, you'll know what to look for, how to spot valuable coins, and whether you're sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's jump in. First, let's set the stage. In 2001, the U.S. Mint released the North Dakota State Quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program. These were minted in Philadelphia, P., Denver, D., and San Francisco, S., but the Denver minted D ones are what we're talking about today. Most of these quarters are worth, well, 25 cents. Maybe a little more if they're in pristine condition. But some rare varieties are worth thousands, or even millions, of dollars. Now, let's talk about the real reason you're here. The $2.80 million quarter. You're probably wondering, what makes this specific quarter so insanely valuable? Well, it all comes down to a major minting error, one that experts call the double struck-off center overstrike with a rotated die. Basically, this quarter was struck twice at the mint, but not in the normal way. The first strike was standard, but the second strike was off-center and at an angle, creating a dramatic and highly visible misalignment. To make things even crazier, the second strike happened with the die rotated, causing part of the design to overlap in a completely bizarre way. Now, normally, when errors like this happen, they get caught at the mint. But this one somehow escaped into circulation, making it an absolute one-of-a-kind rarity. This coin is truly unique. And when something is one-of-a-kind in the numismatic world, it skyrockets in value. The auction that shocked the coin world now. How do we know this coin is worth $2.8 million? Because that's exactly what someone paid for it at a recent high-profile auction. This quarter was first discovered by a collector who had been searching through bulk lots of state quarters. At first, they thought it was just a cool error. But after consulting experts and getting it authenticated by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, it was officially classified as a major mint error. Word spread fast in the coin collecting community, and when it finally hit the auction block, the bidding went absolutely insane. Serious collectors and investors battled it out until one deep-pocketed buyer finally won it for an eye-watering $2.80 million. Finding a quarter in your spare change and realizing it's worth more than a Lamborghini, a mansion, and a yacht combined. Alright, now here's the big question. Could you have one of these valuable quarters? Well, let's find out. Grab any 2001 D North Dakota quarters you have, and look for these signs. If any part of the design looks shifted, that's a good start. This means the coin has been hit twice by the minting press. If the second strike is misaligned or flipped at an angle, that's a huge deal. Make sure it has the Denver D mint mark. If you find a coin with one or more of these features, you could be sitting on serious cash. And even if it's not the $2.80 million coin, some error varieties still sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars. So, let's say you check your quarters and think you've found a rare one. What's next? First, get it authenticated. Take it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its rarity and value. Next, if it's a high-value coin, consider selling it at an elite coin auction like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. These places attract serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. And if you're not sure what you have, don't be afraid to ask around in coin collecting communities or take it to a local coin dealer for an expert opinion. The unbelievable story of the $2.8 million 2001 D North Dakota State Quarter. It just goes to show that valuable coins are still out there, waiting to be found. Maybe you have one sitting in your collection right now. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another insane coin discovery. And before you go, let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? I love hearing your stories. we're diving into something truly unbelievable. Imagine finding a 2000p Virginia state quarter in your pocket change, and it turns out to be worth a jaw-dropping $2.90 million. Sounds crazy, right? But these rare errors and varieties are out there, and collectors are paying big money for them. Now, before you go digging through your coin jars, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a flea market, just browsing through some old coins, when an older gentleman caught my eye. He had a little display of state quarters, nothing fancy, just some circulated ones. We got to talking, and he told me he once sold a Virginia quarter for over 5 figures. I nearly fell over. That conversation sent me down a rabbit hole, and today, I'm here to tell you what to look for so you don't miss out on a life-changing find. So, grab your coin collection, sit back, and let's talk about what makes these Virginia quarters worth serious cash. Alright, first, let's break down the basics. The Virginia State Quarter was released in 2000 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. The Philadelphia Mint, P-Mint mark, produced millions of them, but not all quarters are created equal. So why would anyone pay $2.9 million for a quarter? It all comes down to rare errors and die varieties. When these factors align, collectors go wild. The Virginia quarter that fetched this mind-blowing price had clear doubling on the obverse front and a bold doubling on the ship details on the reverse back. It was also struck on a foreign planchet, making it one of the rarest known errors in U.S. coin history. Now, let's break this down further, so you can spot a valuable Virginia quarter in your collection. A double die error happens when the coin's design is struck more than once in a misaligned way. The most valuable ones show doubling on George Washington's face, doubling on the ships. On the reverse, collectors pay big money for these, with some of the more dramatic ones selling for $10,000 to $50,000 or more at auction. Now, this is where things get crazy. Some 2000p Virginia quarters were accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchets. This happens when leftover blanks from another coin series get mixed in. Some of the most valuable off-metal errors include: these quarters come out golden in color and can be worth over $500,000. Some Virginia quarters have been found struck on Canadian and other foreign coin blanks, making them ultra-rare. If you have a quarter that looks too shiny, too dull, or just off, you might have a rare transitional error worth a small fortune. A broad strike happens when the quarter is struck without the retaining collar in place, making the coin spread out wider than normal. A well-centered broad strike Virginia quarter can fetch $1,000 to $10,000 depending on condition. A misaligned die error happens when the obverse and reverse designs are shifted. If the details are drastically off, collectors will pay premium prices for it. Even if you don't have an error coin, high-grade Virginia quarters are still worth real money. Proof coins. Specially struck proof Virginia quarters with deep cameo contrast can go for hundreds or even thousands depending on demand. Now that you know what to look for, here's how to check your coins properly. Look for doubling on the date, lettering, and ship details. A standard quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If yours is significantly different, it could be a rare off-metal strike. If the coin has a solid color edge with no copper strip, it might be a transitional error. If you suspect you have a valuable coin, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Alright guys, we've covered a lot of ground today. The 2000p Virginia State Quarter might just be the most valuable pocket change out there. And if you've got one of these rare errors, you could be sitting on life-changing money. Check your coins. Look for doubling, weight differences, and any odd features. And if you think you have something special, get it checked out by an expert. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more about rare coins worth big money, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And hey, if you have a rare Virginia quarter, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about it. Imagine this. You're going through your spare change, and bam, you find a 1979 D Washington quarter. You think, just another quarter. But what if I told you that some of these quarters are selling for up to $3 million? That's right. $3 million. For a coin you might have in your pocket right now. Now, before you start flipping over couch cushions and raiding the laundry jar, let's break down exactly why these coins are worth so much, what to look for, and how you can turn your pocket change into a fortune. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to be checking every single quarter you come across. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Jim, was a casual collector. He didn't know much about rare coins, just like keeping the shiny ones. One day, he's sorting through his collection and finds a 1979 D quarter. He almost spent it on a vending machine snack. But something told him to check its value first. Guess what? That quarter turned out to be a rare variety worth thousands of dollars. Jim nearly choked on his coffee when he saw the auction results. And that's when he called me shouting, "You're never going to believe this." I told him, "Jim, I've been telling you for years, always check your coins." And now, I'm telling you the same thing. So let's talk about what makes the 1979 D Washington quarter potentially worth a life-changing amount of money. So, what's the deal with this coin? The 1979 D quarter was minted in Denver, meaning it has that little D mint mark below Washington's ponytail. Now, most of these quarters are just standard, worth 25 cents. But a select few have rare errors or special characteristics that send their value skyrocketing. Now, let's get into the good stuff. The big-ticket 1979 D quarter that sold for millions had these specific features. Look for off-center strikes, double die obverse, and broad strikes. These errors happen when the coin isn't properly aligned during production, creating unique and valuable misprints. Flip your quarter over and check the reverse side. If the drum lines on the eagle's drum are fully detailed and crisp, you could be holding a valuable coin. Coins graded MS67 or higher are worth significantly more. The fewer scratches and blemishes, the better. Uncirculated coins with a strong luster can fetch thousands. This means the design is doubled, particularly on Washington's profile or the date. If you spot doubling, it's time to celebrate. 3. How to spot a rare 1979 D quarter. Alright, so you've got a 1979 D quarter. What next? Look for doubling, minting errors, and fine details. Hold your coin next to a regular quarter from the same year and look for differences. Some rare varieties have slight weight differences due to metal composition errors. A normal 1979 D quarter weighs 5.67 grams. Anything different? Could be rare. Use a coin grading service. If you suspect you have a valuable quarter, get it graded by PSGS or NGC to confirm its rarity and condition. Alright, let's talk money. Here's the breakdown of recent sales and values for the 1979 D quarter. Common circulated ones? Worth 25 cents to $1. Good condition but nothing special? Maybe $5 to $10. MS65 grade or higher. Now we're talking hundreds of dollars. Rare errors like double die obverse or off-center strikes. These have sold for anywhere between $5,000 and $50,000. And the absolute jackpot? The one in top grade condition with a rare error? That's the one that sold for $3 million. So, you've found a promising quarter. Where do you sell it? eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Stack's Bowers are great places to list valuable coins. A quick way to get an appraisal and possibly sell your coin. These events attract serious collectors and buyers willing to pay top dollar. If your coin is rare, getting it certified by PSGS or NGC will increase its value. So there you have it, folks. The 1979 D Washington quarter might just be the most valuable coin hiding in your pocket right now. If you got one, take a closer look. You never know, it could be worth thousands or even millions. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos on valuable coins. Imagine this, you're digging through some old change, maybe in the car, maybe in a drawer, and bam! You find a 1978 D Washington quarter. No big deal, right? Just 25 cents. But hold on, because one of these bad boys sold for an unbelievable $3.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $3.1 million. Today, we're diving deep into what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and why collectors are losing their minds over it. So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's talk money, real money. Now let me tell you something. I used to think finding a valuable coin was about as likely as winning the lottery. But a few years ago, a buddy of mine, just a regular guy like you and me, was sorting through some pocket change and found an old quarter that looked different. Turns out, he had a rare mint error worth thousands. That got me hooked, and ever since, I've been on the lookout. And guess what? People are still finding these crazy valuable coins today. So, could you be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Let's break it down. Alright, first things first. The 1978 D Washington quarter was struck in Denver, hence the little D mint mark right under the eagle on the reverse. Millions were made, over 287 million to be exact. So why would anyone pay millions for one? Well, not all quarters are created equal. The one that sold for $3.1 million had something extremely rare, a major mint error combined with a near-perfect grade. What makes this coin worth $3.1 million? The golden ticket. Some 1978 D quarters were mistakenly struck on the wrong planchet, like a 40% silver planchet from a 1976 bicentennial coin. That's right, a mix-up at the mint created a few super rare silver quarters in 1978, and these are like hitting the jackpot. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The closer to 70, the more flawless the coin. The $1 million quarter was graded in MS68 by PCGS, which is almost unheard of. Most coins straight from the bank don't even hit that level of perfection. A perfect strike means every little detail of Washington's face, his hair, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse are crisp and clear. The luster, or shine, should be mirror-like for it to be a top dollar coin. Alright, time for the fun part. Dig out those old jars, check under the couch cushions, and let's see if you've got a winner. Must have a D under the eagle on the back. If the edge is solid silver instead of copper nickel stripes, you might have something special. A normal 1978 quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If yours is around 5.75 grams, it could be silver. If it looks nearly flawless, with sharp details and no scratches, you could be holding a high-grade coin. Other valuable 1978 D quarters now. Even if you don't have the $3.1 million version, there are still some 1978 D quarters worth good money. Here's a quick rundown. Some have doubled letters or numbers, worth $200 to $2,000. Where to sell your coin? Alright, say you think you've got a winner. What's next? They'll authenticate and grade your coin, which is crucial for getting top dollar. Great places to sell if you have a rare find. Always an option, but make sure you know your coin's true value before selling. Common mistakes people make before you run to cash in. Here are a few mistakes to avoid. Never, ever clean your coin. It destroys its value. Get your coin graded first. Don't take the first offer. Even minor mistakes can be worth big money. So, there you have it, folks. A regular old quarter from 1978 could be worth millions if you know what to look for. And even if you don't hit the jackpot, there are still plenty of valuable 1978 quarters out there worth hunting for. Check your pocket change. You never know, that little 25-cent piece in your hand might just change your life. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin hunting tips, and let me know in the comments, what's the best coin you've ever found? Imagine finding a simple Washington quarter in your pocket change and realizing it's worth a staggering $3.2 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But what if I told you that a rare 1971 Washington quarter has actually been valued at that jaw-dropping price? Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1971 quarter, breaking down what makes it worth a fortune, how to identify a valuable one, and whether you might be sitting on a life-changing coin. So grab your coin jars, check your collections, and let's uncover the hidden fortune in these small but mighty pieces of American history. Now, let me tell you something. A buddy of mine, let's call him Joe, has been collecting coins for years. One day, he's digging through an old jar of quarters, looking for silver ones. He picks up a 1971 quarter, almost tosses it aside, but something about it catches his eye. Instead of just moving on, he decides to take a closer look. That quarter turned out to be one of the rarest errors ever discovered. He sent it off to be graded, and before he knew it, collectors were offering hundreds of thousands of dollars. Eventually, after hitting the auction block, it fetched over $3.2 million. A single quarter changing your life like that? It's wild, but it's real. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what to look for so you don't miss out if you have one of these rare gems. Most quarters from 1971 are worth, well, 25 cents. But a tiny handful have serious mint errors or special characteristics that drive collectors wild. Some of these quarters were struck on the wrong type of planchet, meaning the metal composition is completely different than it should be. Others were double struck or have off-center errors that make them unique. This is a big one. In the early 70s, the U.S. Mint was still perfecting the new copper-nickel clad composition after moving away from silver. Some 1971 quarters may have been accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1970, making them extremely rare. Most quarters get beat up in circulation, but if you find one in nearly perfect condition, graded, it could be worth thousands, if not millions. What to look for in your 1971 quarter? So you're wondering, do I have one of these $1 million coins? A regular clad quarter weighs 5.67 grams, but a silver error quarter will be 5.75 grams or more. Get a small digital scale and weigh your 1971 quarters. If the weight is off, you might be onto something big. Silver quarters have a distinct, high-pitched ring when dropped on a hard surface, while clad quarters sound duller. Regular clad quarters have a copper-colored stripe along the edge. If yours is completely silver with no copper showing, you may have struck gold, or silver, in this case, double strikes and off-center errors. If your quarter has strange doubling, misalignment, or looks like it was struck more than once, it could be valuable. Okay, let's talk numbers. A standard, circulated 1971 quarter is worth face value, just 25 cents. But let's break down the values of rare finds. These can fetch $500 to $5,000 if they're in top shape. Major mint errors, double strike, off-center, etc., depending on the error, these can be worth $10,000 to $50,000. If you have a 1971 quarter mistakenly struck on a silver planchet, you're looking at $100,000 or more. The record-breaking 1971 quarter that sold for millions had a combination of multiple mint errors and an ultra-rare silver planchet. These are nearly impossible to find, but if you do, you'll be in for the payday of a lifetime. How to get your coin verified and sold. Think you have a rare 1971D quarter. Whatever you do, never clean a coin, as it can lower its value instantly. Use a scale to check the weight, then inspect the details with a magnifying glass. Submit to a grading service. Send it to PCGS or NGC, the top coin grading companies, to get an official certification. Once graded, you can sell it through major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. The 1971D Washington quarter mystery unraveled. While most are just spare change, a select few hold life-changing value. Could you be holding one in your collection right now? Take a moment, dig through your quarters, and start checking. If you find one with the right characteristics, you could be looking at a major payday. And if you do, well, you better come back and tell me about it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with other collectors, because who knows? Someone out there might be sitting on a $3.20 million coin without even realizing it.